Woo! Double Donkey Dick coming at you hard and fast with a new one. Are you all ready for some action-packed action? Well, too bad. This one is a PC Engine game. We only got 2 buttons and the processing power of a baked potato. But guess what, guys? That also means we get copious amounts of panty shots and nip slips, because they needed to get people to buy this one somehow. Snark aside, I am absolutely fascinated by these titles and the weird bubble they existed in, like a nexus point between games and anime OVAs. Similar to the Valis series, which I would argue is one of the most popular games of this type to ever hit the West, these are basically half cutscene, half gameplay, feeling almost like an interactive hour-long episode, or a backdoor pilot, which incidentally was my nickname back home. Fausseté, amour, or False Love, is an action platformer published by Naxxes Soft back in '93, and is kinda like a Ghost and Goblins ripoff, but painfully slow, and somehow both easier and harder at the same time, even though it's barely got 30 minutes of gameplay. Forget difficulty curve, this hits you with the difficulty sheer cliff. And it is because, strangely enough, these games share a design philosophy with Western ports of console games that were made much harder as a reaction to the rental market, which has led many players to pointing out that the game can be more than a bit cheap at times. And despite my love for this one, I'm gonna have to agree with them. Most of the story is told through cutscenes and audio dialogue with zero translation, so I'ma do my best on the story part since anyone can edit a fan wiki. But you play as Koruku Lance, who's just living a peaceful life doing the idealistic villager thing with her sister, Maria. This peace is shattered by a powerful demon known throughout the land as Goatbone. For fuck's sake. Ooh, that one I gotta cover up. They don't care about tiny little game sprite nipples, but that one will get me in trouble. What were we talking about? Got distracted by a titty. So this old guy, he kind of wanders up to you and he's like, "Hey, this Goatbone guys went and hypnoed your sister, and he's gonna do some pretty freaky shit to her. That's why God sent me. So take this pink Barbie armor and go stab the bitch." And so our journey begins. Fuck, the camel toe, come on, did she just jam the whole thing in there? We start off with a classic dark forest stage, en route to the ruins, which at first glance is deceptively slow and simple. Your walking speed is horrendous, but this is done for 2 reasons. The first is the obvious reason. Moving slow means the tiny levels take longer, but you are also meant to use your weapon as a pseudo-bionic commando arm that can let you quickly swing across areas or let you jump into a sonic spin attack that will one-shot most enemies as you bounce off them. One thing I will give TurboGrafx programmers is that they found ways around those control limitations, with many games using directional input usually seen in 3D fighters. This game doesn't fully take advantage of it the way some other titles do, but I will give them the good enough award for what they did include. Yes, up attack attacks up. Hitting jump twice lets you double jump. Standard shit. But you also throw your grapple out with the double jump, which can lead to many scenarios where you have to time it to go off just a split second before landing. And magic is done by hitting a downward attack while jumping, giving it a simultaneous weapon spin that also does damage, which sounds small, but in some situations forces you to line up the timing of your attack and the exact spot you will land in order to avoid a counter. Item drops come from these cute naked pixies floating around, and you will find them everywhere. The amount of one-ups this game will throw at you is insane, respawning whenever you start over, letting you max out at most times. This is basically to keep you in game no matter how many times you die, except for the boss fights, which has its own problems. Surprisingly, the level design isn't just walk left to right, but also up to down. I'm half kidding, because they actually did put some effort into giving you hidden paths, and in most cases the backtracking is 100% optional. The only thing being that there really is no reason to explore off-path, unless you find yourself desperate for an extra life or you need to get your armor back, which will guaranteed be waiting for you. Each of the normal levels has a mini-boss that are complete pushovers if you come prepared, and even if you don't, there's always a hidden fairy or two ready to drop some armor or magic for you to get through it. So far, all normal standard gamer stuff. You reach the end of the level and are sent back to the start. Okay. This bullshit right here is actually one of the most common complaints I've found from contemporary reviews. Unless you read the manual, you would be clueless on how you are supposed to proceed. You see, certain enemies in every level drop red crystals. Once you know what enemy type in the current level has them, they become easier to hunt down, but you must get at least 3 of these before you can proceed to the boss fight. And the whole thing just screams artificial padding. And I just hate fake tits, you know what I mean? Speaking of which, these 4 bitches. So, according to the English fan sites, these are your best buds who Goatbone kidnapped and turned into demon monsters. But according to the Japanese-speaking audience, that's complete BS. And they are Goatbone's personal guard, known as the Shikigami 4. And the English wiki doesn't even know which girl is which, so I'm gonna go with the non-clueless version. The first up of the 4 is Amon, who after a lengthy monologue goes full Devilman and then proceeds to hang out in the corner, politely allowing you to spam attack, winning this one with 0 effort. Like I said, this one starts out way too easy, then smacks you in the face with that big meaty difficulty spike. The real trick to the demon battles is to just distance yourself while concentrating on dodging and letting your magic attacks do all the work, especially if you have the homing spell. Trying to fight fair or do anything with style is just gonna get you killed. And the bosses can have some ridiculously placed hitboxes, especially the second one. And since it only takes like 5 hits to defeat them anyway, this method makes it feel like you're cheating. But if you play the correct way, they cheat you, and it's just this really badly thought out setup. The quick breakdown? Amon is the first of Goatbone's assassins, and a foul-mouthed tomboy. We'd get along great when she's not in devil mode. Prokel is the big-titty snake girl that has the tiny head for a hitbox, and is the classy one of the group, who keeps her promises and also hates Amon. Lilum is the trickster of the group, pretending to be your sister in order to get the drop on you. And similar to the best tactic being to run away from her gargoyle form, she will beg for mercy and run away once defeated. And lastly, and very much least, is Mara, the calm, boring one that looks like a weird worm-frog chimera hybrid with arms coming out of her boobs, so she definitely got the short straw when it came to handing out demon powers. Once defeated, we get to what is easily the best part of the game, a 4-on-1 match with them in their human forms. And a smart villain would have probably just had them all jump you like this from the start, cause they do not fuck about at all. I am legit impressed by whoever programmed this boss fight, because almost every other enemy in the game is early NES levels of simple, but in this matchup, all 4 of the girls have their own tactics that allow them to work in tandem with one another, coming at you from both sides in a wave pattern, with 2 girls leading in and the other 2 pulling back and then swapping. You need to attack hard and fast, taking advantage of the tiny health pools while also pushing both sides back simultaneously. It's kinda great. Defeating the Shikigami 4, we watch them die horrifically in a beer fire, which kinda puts a big nail in the coffin of that claim that these are the main character's friends, cause she clearly is not upset by this. And then you get challenged to a fight by your sister's giant floating head, and I was laughing my ass off so hard at this the first time I saw it. I legit did not notice the thong riding up our girl's butt just off to the side. Malia, or Maria, is essentially a mirror match, and it almost feels wasted that she's not an optional character, especially since she's kinda better at your moves than you are. But she goes down just as easy as any other boss, if you are relentless and just spam them attacks. So now Sis is dead, and our girl is double pissed, marching into Goatbone's lair to give him a beating, and it's actually Malia's fiancé in some armor he stole from Galleon. And I'm thinking whoever did the art for this part forgot it's supposed to be a guy, cause those are some dick-sucking lips if I ever saw them, and I can legit see down his throat. You can tell it's been put to work. Speaking of something that sucks on a fat juicy hog, this boss fight right here is insanity. The guy himself is pathetic, just teleporting around the room, remaining completely still, and firing off easy-to-dodge projectiles. So in attack mode, it's a baby game. He cannot defeat you. So, to make up for it, whenever you hit him, he shits out this green orb that comes straight at your face as a cheap counter, and you have to jump to hit him, so it will constantly catch you mid-landing unless you land in the exact perfect spot. And it is the most frustrating thing ever, because he is not winning. You are defeating yourself by accident. Did I mention this game has the most accessible debug menu ever? It's almost like they knew players might get pissed and want to skip around to view cutscenes. Write this down. Up, 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 down, 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 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. That's the super duper secret code for cool dudes. Don't tell anybody. Anyway, Goatbone defeated or whatever, the real villain behind it all decides to Kool-Aid Man it out the wall for a sneak attack.
Oh yeah!
This Baphomet knockoff is known as Circular, which I'm thinking is a bad translation for Halo from the context, so I'ma call him Gloriole, which means the same thing, and also because they literally just came through a wall. Also, why does Glory Hole have the best hit shot in the entire game? You could have given this to any other character, but you go with the goat monster. Okay. And I'm just gonna scooch over a little so we don't have to keep blurring things out. Plus, the only reason the final boss has her gigantic Dark Souls boobs swinging around is to distract you from how incredibly easy this boss fight is when you are not at half chub. As long as you have the right magic, this is gonna be a cakewalk. Like with the previous bosses, keep on dodging while firing those homing shots. They'll find their target, and Gloriole will go down. And I think making another fellatio joke at this point in the video is a bit redundant, so we're just gonna jump straight to that ending. Woo! Updated the theme song. Also, the monster is dead. Hooray for us. But so is our sister and her fiancé. So that kind of sucks. Moment of silence. Thankfully, we are God's chosen sinner, and his boy Gabby decides to give us a freebie as a thank you for doing his job by bringing our sis back to life. And I was legit thinking about that one comic where the Fuda girl sneaks under her friend's wedding dress and then leaves her something borrowed, something goo, to take with her down the aisle and also down her thighs. Anyway, this one is kind of annoying but also really adorable. Plus, it's one of those games you can beat really, really easy once you've learned it. All the difficulty comes from the cheap enemy placements and just not knowing the patterns. These PC Engine games are always kinda cool, but really hard to cover since they rarely get translated, and some have a whole bunch of adult content you have to edit out, but that also kinda makes me want to play them all the more. Never know, this month is going to be a bit more relaxed and random. The other guy's playing catch up on my comic, and also has some plans for the Christmas, New Year's episodes or whatever that are a bit much, so I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want while they aren't looking. As always, a thank you to all the lovely, lovely viewers, and to everyone grabbing them adopts. And did you know that the scientific term for the fear of long words is hippopotamonstrous squipedaliophobia? You guys have no idea how many takes I had to do.